Hello and welcome again to my channel. Today we'll be making this yummy unripe plantain porridge. So this is a very yummy dish that every member of the family is gonna love and enjoy. It is also healthy. To begin with, these are the plantains I'll be using, and I started by removing the back. Okay, so make sure you wash it nicely and then you go ahead, dry it, and then start removing the back this way. Okay, so after removing the back, you'd notice that this plantain, some of them are still very unripe, whereas about 2 or 3 of them, the ripening process has started. It's not soft yet, it's not ripe yet, but like this one I have here, the ripening process has already begun. Okay, so what I did was to slice them separately, starting with the unripe ones, the very unripe ones, and I sliced them into very tiny cubes. Okay, this is just to help it cook evenly and on time. If you don't like it very tiny, you can go ahead and slice it into bigger chunks, but you may need to cook it for a slightly longer period of time. Okay, so after slicing the very unripe ones into tiny cubes, I set that aside and proceeded to dice the other ones, which were, which the ripening process has already begun. If you look at it, you would also notice what I mean. So I cut that into bigger chunks so that I can cook the both of them and the cook time will still be the same. Okay, after that, I set them aside as well. So I proceeded to cook my plantain, starting with the very unripe ones. Into my pot, I added the very unripe plantains, and went in with hot boiling water. Okay, you can also use cold water. It's just to fasten the process for me. And when it's nicely boiled, I added some onion and some washed dry catfish. Okay, then went ahead to add some palm oil and added the other plantain here, that's the bigger chunks. All right, topped up with water, seasoned with my cubes, salt, and then I covered it to cook. All right, so while that was cooking, I went ahead to get my stew base ready. So I used some paprika pepper and 1 bell pepper. So I roughly blended that using my food processor, and after that I proceeded to fry that. Okay, so I'm using this pepper because I wanted it to give it more pop of color and some flavor as well. So after blending that, I went ahead to fry it. So I used the red palm oil here again to do my frying because this is somewhat a local dish. Feel free to use vegetable oil. So into that oil I added my mixed herbs, parsley, rosemary, and all that. Okay, went in with my onion and added the pepper mix after the onion was fragrant. Added some crayfish, If you do not like that, you may also skip it, but I love that so much. I went ahead to season it, and I have this deboned boiled mackerel fish left over. I also threw it in here and fried it to perfection. Went back to my plantain. It's nicely cooking. Went in again with some more crayfish because this is a local dish, and this crayfish would elevate the flavor and the taste of this meal. So I stirred that nicely to combine, and I went ahead to add my stew base here. As I said, I'm using this stew base because of the pop of color and the flavor. So after adding that, I stirred that nicely for it to combine properly. And then again, I went ahead to add this pepper soup spice. Again, it gives this dish a kick. So at this point, my food is nearly done. I just went in with the vegetables. Here I used kale. Feel free to use green, whichever vegetable is available to you. Scent leaf. And here there is my mackerel fish that I grilled. I deboned it and I added it last. So I add it last because I do not want it to break into pieces. I love seeing, the bigger chunks of fish in my food. But if you want to, shred it, that's all good as well. After that, I removed some for my kids before I added that Scotch bonnet pepper because for the heat. I had some more kale. I topped it up here again, and my food is ready. I dished this, and every member of my family enjoyed it. I hope you try it. And if you have any question, feel free to ask me in the comment section. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.